Hello and welcome to Knit in the City. I am Rebecca, the city is Malmö, and today I am back with an episode about my spring knits. I don't want to call it plans, it's more like spring dreams. I'm really sorry about the light. Spring really feels like it's not super warm, but the sun is shining like crazy and it goes through. So that's why I'm striped. This half of my body is striped. So sorry about that. Yeah, back to the topic at hand. Yes, I am going to talk a little bit about my spring knits that I would love to make. Whether I make them or not, don't know. But this is what I have found and what I really like. I am also going to present a mood board with the colors that I intend to use for my spring knits. And yeah, let's just jump into it. The spring colors, I have chosen 2 pictures of flowers or plants. And the colors in here are like light spring green, different shades of pink, quite light purple or lilac. I have a little bit of beige, like a pinkish beige. And then there's the gray that is always going to be there because, I mean, I love gray. I look good in gray. Gray is my favorite basic kind of color. Yes, that is the color scheme. It's like every time I start filming, my throat just... So what I have decided to do, I picked out a few patterns that I really like. I have noticed that quite a few of these patterns were in last year, so I'm a bit late on the ball. But I mean, hopefully, I know there are some in there that you probably haven't seen. So, and I have divided them into categories. I will talk a little bit about the patterns, and I will also show you some yarns that I have planned to use for these patterns. I don't have yarns for all of these patterns, but when I do, I will show them to you. So I'm going to start with cardigans, because spring is a bit, you don't really know what the weather is going to be like, and it can shift and change, and even though the sun is shining, it can still be quite cold. Depending on where you live, of course, but where I live, spring is a bit treacherous. But yeah, cardigans. The first one is the Robinson Wrap Top by Florence Miller. And as the name says, this is a wrap top. It comes in 9 sizes, A to I, and it covers a bust size 75 to 155 centimeters. I'm not going to tell you the inches now, I'll just put it on the screen. Yes. It doesn't say how much ease it has. It does say that it is a fitted cardigan, so it has negative ease, I assume. This is knit in a fingering weight yarn held together with a lace mohair. And it's knit on 4mm needles. And the yarn I intend to use is the Järbo Bamboo Raggi, which is a fingering weight sock yarn in this lovely green color. This is a wool bamboo blend. And I am planning to hold it with this silk mohair. I'm not really sure where this yarn is from, and I don't have a ball band, but I really like the way this shifts in different colors. So I'm going to hold these 2 together, and that's probably going to be lovely. The next cardigan is the Corran cardigan by Rebecca Clow. And I have noticed that I really like most of her patterns. They just feel really new and fresh, and she just gives you many alternatives within the pattern. usually. And this is a lace cardigan, and it comes in 10 sizes from 86.5 to 163.5 bust. And it is knit in a worsted weight yarn on 5mm needles. And this comes in many iterations. It comes with a round neck, a V-neck, long sleeves, and short sleeves. So you can just pick your own adventure. This is knit in a wool yarn, Cascade 220, I think. But since it has a lot of holes, she also says that you can use plant fiber yarn if you want to make a cooler cardigan. But I'm thinking, since it has so many holes, a wool yarn would still be fine. So I was thinking, no, I wasn't thinking. I don't have a yarn for this cardigan. No, I'm lying to you now. I do have a yarn for this cardigan. This is the Viking Trend Merino, which is a really squishy merino yarn. I think this is non-superwash too, so that's really nice. Staying on the green here, I initially intended this yarn for a different project, but this is what happens all the time. So I think this yarn is not super warm, and with the holes, I think this is gonna be a great spring cardigan that could also carry into summer if needed. The next cardigan was really popular last year, but I think I discovered it too late. It was already summer by then and too hot to wear a cardigan like that. It's the Whitmoor cardigan by Amy Lowden, and this is a cardigan with a lace yoke, and it is knit in fingering and lace mohair held together. But in the pattern it says you could just swap that for a DK weight yarn if you like to. This comes in sizes XS to 6XL, which is 76 to 150 centimeters. And to me, 150 centimeters sounds very small to be a 6XL, but I don't know. This is supposed to be knit with a 0 to 7.5 centimeters of positive ease. So it's rather fitted. It's not tight, but yeah. It is knit on 3 and 4mm needles. And I was thinking to use Sandnes Pergint, which is a pure wool yarn, in this white color, because that would be nice for spring. I initially intended this for a cabled sweater, but that didn't turn out very well. So then I started knitting a just stockinette cardigan, a V-necked stockinette cardigan. But I think this yarn is so plump and nice, so you kind of want some kind of structure when using this yarn. And I think with a lace yoke, that could be a good idea to use this. Yes. The last cardigan is a short-sleeved cardigan, and it's called the Darjeeling Blouse. And it is designed by Trust the Mojo. This has a saddle shoulder construction. It also says in the pattern that this has kind of a different construction, which always makes me feel a little bit more interested. This comes in sizes extra small to 4XL, which is 80-85 to 140-150 centimeter bust. It also comes in 3 lengths. It has a cropped length, then above the hip length, and then below the hip length. The picture only shows the cropped version, so you'll have to imagine what the other ones look like. It is knit in a sport weight yarn, and it is a cotton cashmere blend. I was thinking to make this in a plant fiber yarn, but I don't have any plant fiber yarns in sport weight, so I will have to find that first. This cardigan also has a matching tank top, but I was thinking to save that for my summer plans. And I think they would look really nice together with a tank top underneath the cardigan, and maybe make the tank top a little bit longer so that the lace bottom shows underneath. And also I was thinking to use a yarn like one color, the same color but different shades, is what I wanted to say. The next category is sweaters, and the first one is my favorite things knitwear's number one blouse. And I mean, I know that this has been all over the internet and everyone has knit this, but I didn't when it came. I still just found it really beautiful with this slight boat neck and the bell sleeves, and it's just like really pretty. This comes in sizes extra small to 4XL, which is 72 to 125 centimeters bust, and it has 10 centimeters of negative ease, which you can't really see in the pictures, but yeah. It is knit in a light fingering weight yarn held together, so 2 strands of light fingering weight, and this is knit with a Knitting for Olive pure silk, which is going to be quite expensive if you want to hold it double. So I have decided to knit it in a yarn that is a lot cheaper. And I was thinking, since you hold the yarns together, a drops bell would work fine for that. And in the pattern it says that it is marled, so you use 2 different colors of pure silk when you knit this. And if you look at drops bell, you can see that the colors there are 2 different colors in here, so it gives a marled effect even if it's just one yarn. So I haven't quite decided if I'm going to use this pink one, which is, I think it's called a rose water, or maybe that's a light one, never mind what it's called. But this, or if I want more of a punch and use this more raspberry red one, which could be nice for spring and summer. So the jury's out as of yet. The next sweater is, oh, I forgot to say that this is knit on 5mm needles. The next sweater is the Rota jumper by Irene Lin. I'm stuttering now. Last year, the Rota vest was a big deal. The reason I didn't hop on the train then was that, I mean, this is a bit too thin, but it has like really big bands, and I don't like them that wide. So, but when I saw the jumper, I felt like this has to happen, because this has the same lace pattern as the vest. And it is a lace pattern. It is knit. It comes in 6 different sizes, from 118 to 160 centimeter bust. And this has 42 centimeters of positive ease, which is a lot. So I was thinking, because I mean, I think that this kind of design needs a bit of positive ease, but 42 centimeters is too much for me. So I was thinking to maybe knit it in a size 2, which gives me like half of that. This is knit in an Aran weight cotton on needles 5, or 5mm needles. I don't have that, so, but I mean, cotton yarn is quite cheap, so I could easily buy the amount of yarn needed for this sweater. The next category is tank tops, and I only have 2 to talk about because I'm gonna make more. I'm gonna put more into my summer plans. There are gonna be more tank tops in there. But you kind of want some anyways that you can put underneath a cardigan. The first one is the Pebble top by Lene Holme Samsø. And this has crocheted edgings. It comes in sizes XS to XXL, so it's quite a small size range, but I just found this so lovely I couldn't help myself. And that is 80 to 113 centimeter bust. It's knit from the top down, and it has negative ease, 0 to 5 centimeters. And it is knit on 3mm needles and 2.5mm crochet hook. And this is knit in a sport weight yarn, which is made of a plant fiber. I don't remember exactly what was in there, but I think there's some linen and some cotton, things like that. And like I said before, I don't have a sport weight plant fiber yarn, so don't know why I picked those. Well, yeah, I do know why I picked those. I picked them because I thought they were really pretty. But the other tank top is the Thea top, and it is designed by Susanne Müller or Paula Strict. This is just like a simple tank top, but it just looks so perfect, I think. It's knit from the top down, and it comes in sizes S to XXL, so this is also quite a small range of sizes. This is 88 to 128 centimeter bust, it's supposed to fit. This is knit in a worsted weight yarn, also plant fiber yarn. And I was thinking to use Sandnes Lene. I don't have enough as of yet, but that could be easily fixed. It's knit on 4mm needles. The next category is skirts and dresses, and I only have one of each. The skirt is the Sporty knit skort by Florence Miller, and this is a skirt with shorts underneath, which I think is a great idea for spring when it can be nippy in the air. This comes in sizes A to L, which is a waist measurement of 63 to 118 centimeters. And I mean, I'm not sure what I know my bust measurement because I always knit things for my upper body, but my waist measurements, I have no idea. I know my waist is smaller than my bust, but that's about it. I don't know by how much. But yeah. It is knit in a DK weight yarn. It's a camel alpaca blend, which I think is maybe not the best idea because it doesn't have it doesn't spring back like wool. So I'm probably going to use a wool yarn or maybe a wool cotton blend. And it's knit on 3.5mm needles. I don't have the yarn for this yet. I'm going to have to think about what it would be. I'm really sorry about my stripy hair. I try to not get it into my face, so let's hope it's okay. Yeah, and the dress is the singing knit dress, and I'm not gonna butcher the designer's name. You will see it here on the screen. This is a dress with buttons and ruffles, and it comes in 9 sizes with a bust measurement of 85.5 to 161 centimeters. It's knit in a sport weight yarn, and it's linen cotton. There are lots of different options listed in the pattern, but I think most of them have cotton, linen, and something like that. And you knit it on 3.5mm needles. And I actually bought yarn to knit this dress last year, but I never got to it because there were just too many things. So I'm going to be using Drops Bell in this navy blue color. And I think that's going to be pretty nice. And the last category is shawls. And because I think that a shawl is a nice thing to have in spring, because you never know if a bit of cold creeps up on you. And you can also easily take it off and put it in your bag if you don't need it anymore. So the first one is called Dröm, which is Swedish for dream. And it's designed by Ronja Hakalehto. And this is a free pattern on Ravelry. This is a triangular shawl, knit in garter stitch with a lace edge, and it also has tassels, which I think is lovely. This comes in one size, 120 times 60 centimeters. It is knit in a sport weight yarn, which is fine because this is a wool yarn. And also it's a shawl, so you can use whatever yarn you like. It's just gonna affect the size of the shawl. And it's knit on 3.5 millimeter needles. And I was intending to use this Socky Fine, which is a sock yarn. This has 400 meters, so this is a bit thinner. But I mean, since it's supposed to be worn in spring, it's not a problem if it is a little bit airy. It's actually just a good thing. And this is such a lovely purple. And I have 3 balls of this, and I don't think I'm gonna need all of that, so. The last item for today is the Gossamer shawl, and it was designed by Janina Kallio. And this is a really airy shawl. It's like all lace. It's more holes than yarn, actually. This also comes in one size. It's 178 times 53 centimeters. And it is knit in a fingering weight yarn. And this shawl has a crescent shape. So it's the construction is also different from the previous one. And this actually only uses one skein of sock yarn, fingering weight sock yarn, which is so great. I mean, we all have that odd skein hanging around. And since this has a lot of holes in it, it's not going to be as tiny as if it was a tighter gauge. This is knit on 4 millimeter needles. So this is probably going to carry into summer as well, considering how airy it is. Now the sun is calling me, my knits are calling me. Thank you for watching, and I'll see you in the next one. Bye bye!